To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. Once again, making lots of progress towards our stash of firewood for this coming winter. I don't know how significant this is, and I don't even want to say it was a lot of work. I'm sure a lot of people think getting firewood is a lot of work, but as I go through this process, I'm not seeing it as a lot of work because of my life's situation, and I want to explain all this in a minute. Yesterday, I made a video, and I was talking about what is off-grid. And in the video, I mentioned that some folks think that working is being on grid. If you have a job, you're on grid, you're not off grid yet. And I thought, man, that just doesn't seem right. I mean, you got to have an income. I don't see how you can completely and totally live completely off the land and not have a job. But it got me to thinking about work. So I've been working, I don't know, just a few hours a day, gathering up deadfall. Look at this tree. I didn't even see this tree originally, but today I discovered that this is a dead tree that's going to have to come down. And so I've been just going down in the woods or wherever and just collecting deadfall so we can have our winter heat. I don't have a method of really carrying it out of the woods, so I've been using my little wagon. Now that's always been the plan. I don't want you to think that, oh, poor me. Could obviously go get an ATV with a wagon and the whole deal. But that kind of goes into the concept of what I'm trying to talk about today, work. So I've been really avoiding coming out in these woods most of the spring so far because of ticks. Ticks are a big problem. They're a huge problem. Ever since we got here, we've seen ticks, and we got here in March. But bug spray seems to help. Now, okay, how do you buy bug spray if you don't have a job? You gotta have a job. Gasoline to cut the firewood. You gotta have gasoline. You gotta be able to buy some equipment. So you got to be able to make money to buy the chainsaw, to put parts on the chainsaw, maintenance, new chains, to be able to buy the little wagon that I've been carrying around. You got to have money for that. Or if you're going to do an ATV with a wagon, you got to have money for that. Then you got maintenance on the wagon. So you got to have a form of income. And work is the only way I can think of doing it. Now, when I had a job with an employer, it was a pretty stressful job. I've said this in tons and tons of videos, but I'm really trying to explain and put this all together for you so you can understand the benefits of the massive amount of labor that I've put into this property already. You know, some folks say I'm real lazy, but other folks don't seem to think so at all and think that I'm overworking myself. So I guess it's from your perspective. But either way, it's perfect. So when I was working for an employer, it was very stressful. I was working 16 hours a day, at least. Sometimes more than that. I remember when I was young in my 20s, there was about twice a week, I would actually have to work 24 hours a day. And I'm not kidding about that. I would have to work my regular shift. Then the second shift, I would have to run the lab. I was a manager, and I didn't have an employee for a while to run the lab. So I would run the lab at night shift. Then each week, you got selected to run the floor. The managers, one manager had to run the floor at night. third shift. So once a week, I would do 24 hours a day. Well, then just a few years ago, I was working 16 hours a day. Again, it was a very high stress job. Just almost nervous breakdown type of high stress job. Scheduling, 200 employees working for you, running a production floor, safety, meeting customer expectations, quality, delivery times. And of course, you got the office politics. And if you're not compliant with office politics, you're going to be the guy that everybody goes after because they are not doing their job. And I was really bad at office politics. I've said in many videos, I'm an introvert. So office politics, just stay away from me. I'll do my job and then I'm going to go home. You're always getting in trouble for somebody else's failures because they snitch first. Whoever snitches first wins. And for what? What did I really get out of that? Yes, I was getting a nice paycheck, I mean, admittedly. And I was able to go debt-free in that time frame. Even though that I don't make hardly any money now, especially in comparison to what I used to, I'm still able to put quite a bit of money in savings in an emergency fund each month. I'm told a lot that I need to spend more money. And I've got a lot of people say, I just don't agree with the amount of money that you spend, Rob. But the end result is I don't have to work so hard. I get up in the morning now and work in my job for a few hours. Then I come out here and I work really hard. I mean, I'm telling you, I feel like I get a good day's exercise in every day. Pulling that wagon out of these woods is not an easy task, but on the other hand, I don't have to be in a rush either. I come down here and I can admire the trees. I mean, look at this beautiful wooded area. I mean, I would love to call it a forest, but my definition of forest, this isn't a forest. These are woods, but it's just beautiful. And I get to come down here and I stand around just looking for a few minutes, and then I might cut some wood or I might load the wagon. And once I am done with that, I can look around listening to the birds, and then I pull the wagon out. Well, then I get to the top of the hill and I unload the wagon and I can stand there and think, wow, look at this wood pile. Just 2 weeks, just working at my own comfortable pace. Not getting yelled at by boss. There's only 8 hours in a day. You got to get to work. You got to get to work. Well, to me, there's all kinds of hours in the day. As long as there's daylight, I can come out and work. You know, I might work for a few hours in the morning and then it gets too hot and then I go inside and then I can come back out in the evening. The thing is I already have what I think an entire winter's worth of wood ready for my little 6 foot by 6 foot box. And it's only May. So I can continue all summer long, all fall, all winter. I'm going to have so much wood that I'm never going to run out. Okay, so now I've saved all that money by taking my time, enjoying myself, entertaining myself, listening to the birds, looking at the wooded forest, and there's no stress. I'm getting stronger and healthier all the time. What I'm trying to suggest is my lifestyle. Now, I have replaced that hard, stressful, difficult job for this relaxing job. It's still a job. I have to come out here and I have to work. I have to, or I got to go back to the stressful job so I can pay for the heating bill. So it's a trade-off. So this video is to address all kinds of different work-related comments and things that I've seen. One, you don't have to work when you come out here. You don't have to make money. Well, yes, you got to make money. We do not live in a society that trading and bartering is a thing anymore. It's just not. You know, I want cash. That's how things work in today's society. On the other hand, you don't have to work so hard that you have to have a massive amount of cash. You don't have to pay for a heating bill. You don't have to pay for a water bill. You don't have to pay for an electric bill. And then those that say that you're lazy, Rob, you're just lazy. Well, I might be lazy. I might not do work as fast and as hard as you do and have 16 winters worth of wood in one day. I could do 10 truckloads of wood in one day. Well, that's great, but I don't have to. I don't have to work that hard. I don't have to be that stressed. I don't have to kill myself to get to that point. On the other hand, those who say that I work too hard, the opposite is true too. You do have to continue to work at a pace that is comfortable to you, and you have to be consistent at it. And Carolyn and I was talking about this yesterday. She says, I wish I could be as consistent at work as you are. And I said, what do you mean by that? She says, well, you can just stay at a job until it's done or until you've accomplished your goal or whatever it is. She says, but I got to constantly take breaks. Now, remember, Carolyn has a very serious back injuries, she has to take breaks. If she walks too long, she's got to stop and sit. If she sits too long, she's got to get up and walk. And I said, you are being consistent. You're doing what you can physically do, so that there's nothing wrong with that. You're consistent. You stayed at it until the job was done. Now, if you had taken a break until tomorrow, you would have got back up today and you would have worked at it until the job was done. So it goes all over the place, but work is a key part of the life. You have to work it. You have to make cash, you work at your own pace, and you enjoy the beauty around you while you're doing it. I hope I can inspire you to go out and do something that you enjoy to make your life better, but still be consistent at working at it. Thanks for watching.